shit show. Cool shit show. Got some really cool shit on the cool shit show. Today we're gonna talk about some dinosaurs and Spiderman and Sarah John. Maybe some other shit. Cool shit show. Welcome back to the Cool Shit Show. This episode is episode 3. And it is entitled... What are we calling it?
Skateboarding while Italian.
Italian skateboarders.
Italian skateboards. It's to explain to the audio viewers, our cursed image of the week is a man with, it looks like jeans that are rolled up, bare feet, standing in 2 plates of spaghetti and meatballs, both plastic plates with plastic forks of different color.
Different color.
Different colored plastic forks.
That aids in the cursedness of the image.
It does. It's like where they got them in different spots, 2 different places. Do they regularly use plastic forks?
I don't know.
They just keep all of the plastic forks that they get, so that's why they're like, oh, you know, I get the Wendy's one, then you have the Jack in the Box and Carl's Jr. Oh, why did he get Carl's Jr. a fork? I like that one because they're of the rigidity.
The Legend of Spaghetti Foot.
Legend of Spaghetti Foot. I like that. Also, he's on a skateboard, so he's riding a skateboard with spaghetti.
The Legend of Spaghetti Board. The Legend of the Spaghetti Border.
Spaghetti Border?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Legend of the Spaghetti Border.
Okay. That'll be it then.
The Legend of the Spaghetti Border. Yep. There we go.
Figured it out.
Episode 3. We're going to open, as always, with dinosaur talk. Now, Josh, I did just see Jurassic World last night.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I have not seen the new one.
It was fun. It was a fun movie.
Yeah.
I got to, like we do a Star Wars podcast, so I'm always like kind of fucking wound up whenever I go and see those. I'm like, the weight of the world is like on the shoulders of these movies, fairly or unfairly, probably unfairly. But this one, I just kind of like unplugged my brain and watched dinosaurs fight and run into shit, and it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. People need to stop fucking with dinosaurs, and it set itself up for Jurassic World 3, which I'll probably go see as well because I like dinosaurs.
I like that.
So what's our dinosaur of the day, Josh?
Oh, so our random dinosaur. Let's do random dinosaur first.
Random dinosaur generator generating Hypsilophodon. That's what I'm going to go with. Hypsilophodon. We keep getting small dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Looks like about a 4 foot tall. It's like the size of a midget. Excuse me. No, smaller than that.
It's real small.
Yeah, it's like knee high.
It's like a turkey size.
Yeah, so it's like a 2 foot tall.
It's like a dog.
My mom's calling me.
Go ahead and answer it.
Hello?
Hi, Steph.
Hey.
What are you guys up to?
Me and Josh are like right in the middle of recording a podcast.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Kristen's not at the house. Did she go somewhere?
Kristen is not at the house. She should be. She doesn't have a car. She can't really go anywhere.
Okay, well, the kids aren't here. I guess I'll try to call her.
Yeah, try calling her. I don't know where she would have gone. That's weird.
Okay, sorry to bug you.
It's okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Interesting.
That was our second guest, Kirsten Spallino.
Yeah. Apparently,
Whether she knows it or not.
my girlfriend and my kids are both not at the house.
They are gone.
Where they are, I don't know, because we only have one car, and that car is here. But anyways,
So your family has vanished?
my family has vanished, and it might be because of all this cursed image shit we've been getting into.
We cursed them.
Maybe we cursed them.
You get home and then there's just like the piles of clothing. Like
No.
like they just disintegrated into nothingness.
Oh gosh.
They got taken by Thanos.
Oh, they're part of the 50%.
Yeah.
Oi. Not good. Not good at all.
Yes, I'm laughing at the fact that that would mean that your family would be dead. Oh, that's horrible.
Are they really dead though, or
I don't
are
know.
they
Are
just
they
not existing? Well,
or are they existing in a different plane of existence?
realitoire.
Yeah.
Hypsilophodon. Looks like I'm guessing omnivore. I think Wikipedia can confirm that for me right now.
Let's see.
It's being compared to a compy. So its body was built for running. Low aerodynamic posture, long legs and stiff tail. Immobilized by ossified tendons.
I still don't see what it eats.
I don't know. Herbivorous or possibly omnivorous diet.
Ah. Could have eaten. It's kind of like it's like the dog of dinosaurs almost.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Except it like runs on its hind legs.
Yeah, it looks like it could maybe eat like a little rat or like some smaller lizards. I wouldn't put it past it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so kangaroo. Oh, so kangaroo-like postures. Now, where's this one from? I'm not sure if we have a...
Genus from the early Cretaceous period of England. It was in like the first paragraph. From the early Cretaceous period of England.
Isle of Wight. So in England.
Yep, English. It's a proper dinosaur. A small proper dinosaur.
Roar.
So, Josh, why don't you tell me about Jurassic World Alive?
Yeah. Okay, I'm so stoked on this game now.
This is the cool shit show, so this is something that Josh has been into. And I'm going to learn about it right now. Oh. So, PokemonGO, but dinosaurs.
Yeah. And also, like, you can do PvP and things that you can't do on Pokemon Go. And it's pretty sweet. Like, I could bring up a dinosaur right now and make it look like it's right next to us.
What's your best dinosaur?
Oh, let me see. I have some pretty good ones. I have a pretty powerful Stegosaurus. I'll say
Yeah.
that. But I have some weird ones. I have... Let's see. My most powerful dinosaur...
So you can make them fight each other. I did see that.
Yeah. I think my most powerful is actually this guy right here. It is the
Diplodocus.
There's no second D. Diplocaulus.
Let me see. Oh.
That little guy. He's actually really strong. He's like a little like frog lizard thing. He almost looks like what's like between a tadpole and a frog.
Yes, he does.
Kind of looks like that, except he's a larger dinosaur and it has like a hard back.
Whoa, you can fuse dinosaurs together?
Yeah, you can make hybrids because you just collect their DNA. So it'll just show a dinosaur just on the map anywhere. You click on it and you send out it's like you send out a drone that has a gun on it.
Oh
And
my
that's
God.
how you harvest DNA. And so there's like a little like a target on the dinosaur, and you shoot it, and you have to like aim for it, and then the dinosaur will start running away from you, and the target moves on different parts of its body.
Dang.
And so you have to just hit them and get the amount of DNA that it is.
Wow.
Like rare dinosaurs are faster and they'll get away from you quicker, and it's pretty cool.
You have a good team, Josh.
Yeah, I have a solid team.
Okay, this guy is freaking crazy.
Which one is that?
The giant bird. Oh no, this isn't the one that I was thinking of. It's close, but there's one like this, but it has like giant claws.
Yeah.
Dinocaris.
Dinocra.
I don't know. I do not know.
Hit AR on it.
Tarbosaur. AR. Tap screen to spawn creature.
Okay, well, let me just say
Okay.
bye to that. Okay.
So I did spawn one of these.
You can like change the size to make it fit where you're at. So like you can put a dinosaur on the table and you can record the video of the dinosaur, or you can make it like real size and do it outside and walk around it. It's pretty cool.
I'm recording Josh next to a juvenile Tarbosaurus right now.
Yes. Yeah, and then I'll edit that into this video at this point. I'll put it like in the corner or something. Yeah, but it's a cool game. Anyone that's not playing it should play it and should add me. My name's just Josh Combs on there.
Joshua Comswe.
And I'll fight your dinos. Because we can just fight each other. Isn't that sick?
That
It's
is
just
sick.
like straight up PvP like that.
That's pretty rad. I need to download it.
Yeah.
I will download it.
So I just wanted to do that for Dino Talk.
Dino Talk.
Now, Stefan, you have been known to like Spiderman.
I do dabble with the spoder. Yes.
And I have been known to like the Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
So they're adding a Marvel section to California Adventure.
Probably
And-
long overdue. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember when they acquired the license, but...
Around the same time as Star Wars.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it's coming in around the same time. But they're taking over, like, there's a Bug's Life land. They're taking over that land. And it's just like a cheesy Bug's Life. It's stupid, but
I think I've been in there.
yeah,
You like sit on the benches and it like pokes your butt.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like the live show.
yeah, yeah. And then there's like a Heimlich's Choo Choo Train, like it's CHEW, because you're riding like a train, but it's shaped like Heimlich, the caterpillar.
Oh God.
And you're going through different types of foods, and then there's just smells of those foods. Like you smell like animal crackers, and you're going through animal crackers. There's someone in the corner vaping. Yeah, because like
funny.
Yeah, over the last like few years, the smells stopped working. It's like, dude, just hire someone.
Just hire someone to vape in the back.
All right, dress like a bug, vape in the background.
Switch to your animal cracker mod. Fucking dorks. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but that's all going out. So they're already building some stuff. They did the Guardians of the Galaxy redo, I guess, of Tower of Terror. They changed Tower of Terror to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, people were very happy about that.
No, but it's really cool.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like if it's just people like holding on to the past.
let go of the past.
Yes. Kill it if you have to.
It's the only way to become what you're meant to be.
So
Spider-Man. We're getting a Spider-Man ride or what?
Yeah, I was looking at some stuff for for our other show, Star Wars After Hours, and I saw this interesting patent, and I have a few pictures of this, and there is a rumor to what it might be for. So you see, this is it's like a roller coaster, but it's on a long swinging arm, like a pendulum arm. And so you can go around a track, but also swing back and forth. And it's 4 people across, and it's only like one thing. So it's kind of like
so
like
the line's going to take forever.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying?
But unless they have a ton of them on there, because they can fit a lot on a track.
Gotcha.
And then, they can take turns quicker.
Oh yeah, it could just be like a belt, and it just has.
Yeah.
This is just one of the.
Yeah, because this is kind of.
Oh shit!
This is an overview here.
So it's like a decent size looking, coaster hybrid type thing.
Yeah. So, and it looks like these are buildings, and this shows the track. There's like a line going through the middle with, showing the direction of the track, and then there's also, it shows the line of where it swings back and forth. So it's like a swinging coaster. It's almost like probably a higher speed and more. It's like Peter Pan on steroids.
Meth.
On methamphetamines.
Peter Meth.
Peter Pan on PCP.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So there are rumors that this might be a Spider-Man ride where you're swinging back and forth through New York.
That would be very cool.
Yeah. And
that sounds like a ride that I'd like to ride.
Yeah, I just thought this was some definite cool shit. This it qualifies for cool shit, I believe, because a Spider-Man ride taking over a Bug's Land is perfect.
Hoorah!
It's still a bug. Because they're in that it's tough to be a bug. That was that like the 3D whatever theater experience thing.
Yeah.
There are spiders that came down from the ceiling.
Oh gosh, it's like poetry.
It is.
It rhymes.
I think that's how words work. Worms. That's how worms work.
That's how worms work. Worms. Yeah, no, if it is a Spiderman ride, I would love to ride it. And it looks like fun. This patent is a cool patent. And I like the picture. And I like the 4 little people that it has. And I like that it's a big, long arm.
Yeah, it's like a really long arm, too.
So you could be going really fast. And it could, like, kind of like let the momentum carry you, like, out to the edge. So you could be going really fast, like, completely sideways.
Mm-hmm. And you would feel like extra G-forces without taking, that much G-force because you take it at an angle. Yeah.
Spider-Man ride brought to you by Gatorade.
They just pour Gatorade on you at the end of the ride.
G-force.
No, that'd be like if Disneyland used like their other properties like ESPN. Like imagine ESPN Land. At the end of the ride, they just pour Gatorade on you.
G-force.
They do replays. There's just screens, and you can stop, and it'll just play like an instant replay of like you dropping your drink.
That would be funny, dude. I like that idea.
There's a diaper on the ground.
Yeah, they have like a big tower in the middle of ESPN Land with like a couple announcers in it, and they just announce minuscule things that they see happening in the crowd.
Oh, look at that stroller right to the ankles. I think that might be a penalty. I don't know.
Little boy in the blues walking slow, kid. Dad's looking frustrated. ESPN Land, dude. Come on, where's the funding for that? Let's start a GoFundMe for ESPN Land.
Just sports themed rides.
Yeah.
Like LeBron James ride.
I don't even know what that would look like.
You just lay in a roller coaster and then you sleep for 12 hours and then you wake up and you train for 12 hours and then you go back to sleep.
God.
No, it's a geography or like a geography ride. It's where you jump around to different states. LeBron James shows you around to different states depending on what his draw is.
Oh my God.
I used to play for the Cavaliers.
Oh man, that'd be funny. Or like you're on a track, and the track, like the seating for it is just like a giant football, and it's like 2 giant Tom Brady's just passing you back and forth. Like it's like attached to the arm, and the arm shoots you out to the other side of the track, and then it catches it, just shoots you back and forth.
No, it's Peyton Manning on the other side.
Yeah.
But his arm creaks.
Oh man. That's good. Disney, pay us.
ESPN Land.
Oh man,
so many possibilities.
Ugh. I like it. What's next?
ESPN 2 Land.
ESPN 2 Land.
A poker ride. You just like sit there and watch someone play poker.
Oh man.
ESPN International.
or
curling. You just play curling.
Or for the poker ride, they make you wear like a shirt that coordinates with like a poker chip, and then they just like throw you in piles like onto other people dressed in poker colored shirts.
But then also you have 3D glasses, but they're like poker glasses, like shades.
Fuck.
Can't see my poker.
Oh god, all bad. Man, I need to ESPN Land and ESPN 2 Land. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
But then they incorporate like the Disney characters.
Oh.
It's like Donald Duck's getting pissed off playing hockey, getting in hockey fights. Just a hockey ride. You just ride around like the what's the one that there's like a Luigi's flying or what, something like Luigi's thing. You're like in a little car and it's like they're just driving around to music and stuff. But imagine you're doing that, but you're hockey players on an ice rink.
Oh man.
And then you're just getting in fights. The ride is just getting in hockey fights. And everything has an announcer.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. All right. We should, from now on, just come up with like different rides for ESPN Land. like each of us come up with one ESPN Land ride per week.
We should create an entire sports themed theme park.
Yes. ESPN Land.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Put it in Louisiana.
Oh, we forgot to play my favorite game.
Oh, the news article game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do that real quick?
Let's do that real quick.
All right. So for those of you who weren't with us last week, I make up a news article off the top of my head, and then the other two are actually real, and Josh has to guess which one is which. Okay. The first one. Do Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's roles promote toxic masculinity? The second one, just straight up opinion piece. Can my children be friends with white people? Question mark. And the third one, opinion. Hey, Christian parents, spanking is sex abuse. Spanking is inherently violent. It is also inherently sexual.
Okay, the second one's fake.
This is my favorite game, dude. Because
is it the first one that's fake?
You're fucking wrong. That's a New York Times article.
Oh my god.
I made up the first one.
The Rock one you made up?
Yeah.
Oh my god. What? That's a New York Times article?
Yeah. New York Times opinion piece. Can my children be friends with white people? There it is. New York Times. And the spanking one I thought was pretty funny. That's HuffPost, of course.
Oh my god. Who is the author of that, the New York Times one?
Oh,
I want to see what nationality they are.
I don't know. I don't want to judge, but it looks black.
Oh,
Ekow. Ekow in
Yankah? Ekow and Yankah?
Ekow N. Yankah. That's quite a name. Ekow. Should we Google Ekow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ekow.com. That's where you get your... That's like a new milk delivery service.
Ekow.
Ekow.com.
Ekow. EKOW.
Where am I writing?
I don't think anywhere. N. And then... Oh, there you go.
Yankah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Very black.
That is a dark man. So it's a... Oh. Tucker Carlson. Okay, I love Tucker Carlson because how he shuts people down so easily. Just laughs right in their face. Okay, I have to see this.
Yeah. Cumtown. Jordan Peterson. Oh, God.
Patricia.
Oh, God. Part of me was hoping this was fake, but...
Wait, which one? Maybe isn't.
Tucker's professor who questions white friendship under Trump.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. We want to tell you about an op-ed that ran in the New York Times over the weekend you might not have seen. The writer is a law professor in New York called Ekow Yankah, asked a simple question. Can my children be friends with white people? He really asked it, and he wasn't optimistic. Quote, I will teach my boys the lesson generations old, he wrote. I will teach them to be cautious. I will teach them suspicion. I will teach them distrust. I will teach my boys to have profound doubts that friendship with white people is possible. Well, those doubts mirrored the writer's own. As he put it, quote, history has provided little reason for people of color to trust white people. That piece was one of the most popular on the New York Times website, even today. It was hardly unusual, though. Go to any liberal website, Salon, Slate, Vox, HuffPo, and you'll find similar pieces arguing that an entire racial group is untrustworthy and dangerous. This is a big change for the left. For most of the 20th century, liberals, and it was noble, argued that it was immoral to reward or punish people based on their skin color. Individuals ought to be judged solely by the choices they make. Anything less is bigotry. Liberals don't say that anymore. What happened? Ekow Yankah is the author of that New York Times piece. He's a professor at Shiva University's Benjamin Cardozo School of Law, and he joins us tonight. Professor, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So what struck me about this piece, a couple of different things, but the first thing was the generalizations about a racial group based on their race. And I grew up, probably not so much older than you, in a world where overt expressions of that were not acceptable. You weren't allowed to generalize on the basis of race because the assumption was each person is an individual and you judge each person by the choices he or she makes. I don't understand when it became okay to generalize about racial groups.
Well, I mean, it's to me, a strange way to put the question. I mean, while it's the case that we all hope that we can be judged for who we are, I think while some people have the luxury to be raised only being told to look at individual people, it should be no surprise to you that black people, in particular black men, have been taught forever that they have to be careful how they behave around white people, that the way they behave will be interpreted differently, that when they misbehave, it'll be punished differently, that if they laugh too loud, if they walk into a nice store. So with all due respect, Tucker, what was true for you has never been true for lots of people.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of ways to respond to that. One, on a factual basis, and in truth, in a lot of places in this country, the main threat that African Americans face is not from white people, as you perfectly well know. But beyond that, the idea that you could understand a person's motive merely by knowing his race dehumanizes that person. It's the definition of racism, and you're engaging in it in the New York Times, and nobody says anything about it. And I just felt it was worth pointing that out and asking you if you feel it's okay to generalize about people you've never met, about whom you know nothing beyond what they look like, and say, I know who you are and what you believe.
So I first want to respond to the first comment. I think is ought not be let lie. While it's true that, of course, people of color face threats from other people of color, it's also true that white people face the overwhelming threat from white people. That is,
right.
People face threats from who they live beside. So
I
find
exactly.
I think it's fair to point out that we oughtn't be distasteful and say things like, well, the great threat. It does feed a certain uglier narrative that we don't want. But to your core point,
wait, hold on. Why does the truth ever feed a, quote, ugly narrative? The truth is worth telling for its own sake because it's true.
You're welcome to tell the truth, but it is deeply suspicious that people are so quick to say things like the main threat facing African Americans is other African Americans, but you never hear anybody say the main threat facing white people is white people. Right, so there is no phrase white on white crime.
I don't know. I mean, people say that. I mean, I guess the point is,
Tucker,
you don't face a threat from an entire racial group. You face a threat from individuals who've made individual choices.
Well, we should turn to that. But just in closing, I should say we should be honest and not pretend that there is a phrase like white on white violence, right? That phrase doesn't exist for very particular reasons. Okay, well, we can
invent it here. But I guess the point I'm making is that you should never generalize about people on the basis of their skin color because it reduces them to the sum total of their skin color. And again, that's the definition of racism. And you're engaging in it in this piece. And I don't think it's helpful. I think it's wrong.
Well, so I just entirely deny that. What I said was that you should generalize and dislike people because of their skin color. What I do think is true is that in a world
that is
in
the
which
title
things
of
have
your
gotten
article.
ever more dangerous for people of color, it is in fact the case that undermines our ability to trust each other.
People. History is provided.
If the people who call themselves your friends are not going to push back against that, then maybe you can tell me why it is I should trust those people?
Well, so I guess what you're saying is that people who don't agree with your politics can't be your friends, which I think is an unfortunate conclusion to reach, but it's different from the one you articulate here. You're making, again, for the third time, generalizations based on race, and the truth about the last election is, this is not a defense of Donald Trump, merely an acknowledgement of the fact that he received more African-American votes than any Republican since 2004. I think he had 8% of African-American men. So that's not a huge number, but that's tens of thousands of people. Are they in the same category, too? Can you not trust them? I mean, I don't really understand. If you're saying you can't trust Trump voters, fine.
Sure.
But white people? I mean, that's a grotesque generalization and a divisive one.
I'm a little worried that you keep reading the same parts without... I mean, you would make it seem as though the entire piece was just that paragraph. So the piece goes on to say...
Well, it's the title of the piece, and it's in four separate graphs.
So I have no problem standing behind the title of the piece, but it is worth pointing out, as I have again and again, what the piece says is, when those who count themselves as your friend see that others put you in danger, it is their opportunity to prove they're your friend. And if we have let's just speak plainly about this. Tucker, you have children like I do, right?
I do.
And if your daughters were, I don't know, friendly with a group of people, and it just turned out that repeatedly, when they went out and your daughters were in danger, those group of young men just disappeared. I think at some point you tell your daughters, look, it's fine to be friendly with them, but these are not your friends. You can't count on them.
Yeah, but I guess I would, because I'm not a racist, what I wouldn't say is anybody of a certain race falls into that category. I would never do that.
So
and again, if one of my daughters was mugged by someone of a certain color, I would never say to my daughter, that's more evidence you can never trust anyone who looks like that, because I would be inculcating race hatred in my children, as you are.
So I mean, obviously I deny that. Look, what I said over and over was, we live in a country where we oughtn't pretend that these divides have not consistently been on racial grounds. And we see that over and over and over. When black people are in danger... That's
true. I agree.
When black people are in danger from, say, addiction, we get policing. When white people are in danger from addiction, they get rehabilitation. When black people don't have jobs, we get stories about why we're making the wrong choices. When white people don't have jobs, we get a presidential campaign about the forgotten class.
Well, you know, look, I mean, these are subjects I know a lot about, and I think those are gross generalizations, so let me just say I don't accept them, but I get your point.
I'm going to go ahead and I'll finish, and then I'm happy to hear your point of view. So if it's the case that we live in a country where these divides have always consistently been racial, then I think it's not only delusional, but it would be dangerous of me not to teach my boys that when they walk out in the world, there'll be a world that treats them differently because of their race.
Should I say the same thing to my children?
Yeah,
that there are African-American law professors who dislike you because of your color and you should dislike him back?
No.
And all African-American law professors? I would never say that because that's grotesque. No, and again, it's race hatred.
So, I mean, you keep saying the same thing, and I keep trying to say...
Because I can't get past it.
Apparently. So what I've said over and over is, look, what matters when people are in danger, if you're going to say that you're the kind of person they can trust as a friend, is you have to step up. And when it's the case that these friendship lines break down on racial lines, then it's your turn to step up because of these racial lines. So if I know that in my school there's a tense point because everybody hates the Filipino student, when the Filipino student walks into my area, I'm going to make sure that he knows I'm an ally. I'm not going to disappear when he's in danger. And then placate myself by saying I'm his friend. You can't have it both ways.
But I agree with you. It's when you implicate people you don't know, simply because of how they look, that you cross the line. And let me just ask you, and I'll end on a question and let you answer it quickly, which is, how would you feel if I told my children in an op-ed in the New York Times what you told your children, but the colors were reversed?
Actually, Tucker, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Will you teach your girls to be cautious around men until they prove that they are men that can be trusted?
men, but not men of a certain race, because I don't think that the races are as different as you think they are. You think one is good and one is evil. That's what you said in your piece.
I didn't at all say that in the piece, and if you can cite that, I'd be very happy to see it. But
what I did say, you can't trust them. Right?
I did say no. I did say that, and I think in the same way. I don't know if we're making
headway, but I'm going to give you. I asked you a question. Can you answer it? How would you feel if I wrote that piece?
No, forgive me. You asked me a question, and I returned the question, so I want to conclude on that. Look, in the same way that you will teach your daughters to be careful around men until they prove that they can be gentlemen. If somebody said, "Oh my God, that's outrageous. Tucker Carlson is teaching his daughters that men are evil," that would be laughable.
You're conflating sex with race.
Forgive me.
No, you forgive me because we acknowledge differences between the sexes, but not significant ones between the races. Well, and so that's sophism, what you're doing right now.
I don't think it's sophism at all. I find it remarkable that you can live in the America we live in and pretend that we oughtn't see that racial lines are equally divisive.
That's not what I was saying. I said, would you be okay with me writing this piece to my children if the races were reversed?
Because the facts are different, Tucker.
Okay.
Listen,
because one goes bad, one's good. All right, got it.
That's absurd. If I don't teach my boys how to be cautious, how to be careful, how to be perceived in the right way, I'm not just risking their feelings being hurt. I'm risking their bodies being broken.
Should I teach my kids that?
You don't teach your daughters to be cautious until they can be sure that the men around them are trustworthy? Tell me.
They're going in circles.
That's not what the conversation is about. It's not about sex. It's about race.
Right.
And no, I don't teach them that there are dramatic differences between the races because I'm not a bigot.
So to be sure, it's fine for you to care for your daughters and make sure that they're healthy and well. But if I care for my sons in the same way...
That is sophism, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of time. Thank you, Professor. I appreciate it. You're coming on and explaining that. Thank you.
Dude.
Yeah, that was real.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Tucker Carlson brings like the worst out of all of these types of people.
It's funny. I thought that the other guy was you picture somebody writing an article with that headline as like totally unhinged. Mm-hmm. And I thought he was clearly, I think he has some issues in his head, but he didn't come off as like a raving lunatic. He was trying to make a point, and I think his point was wrong.
They're just delusional, and his delusions are backed up by so many people that he doesn't look like a lunatic. He doesn't have to be, like that. He can be calm, cool, collected because he knows that there's people that back him on this.
Yeah.
And even though he's totally wrong, because that's literally teaching your kids, like, there's a difference between the races and you cannot trust this, and he won't answer at all how he would feel if that
of course
was the other way around. So it's like, okay, well that shows what type of person is reading that or writing words. One of them,
all bad.
I'll use them. Aw, snap! What happened? Oh, that's cool. That's for the other thing. Anyways, what? Let's see. What time is it?
I think maybe we save Sarah for next week.
Yeah, I think we got through some cool shit.
I think so as well.
Yeah,
I think that was some cool shit. So stay tuned next week for another cursed image.
Yeah. Also, watch Star Wars After Hours, our other show, the Star Wars one, the main one. Go to patreon.com/Star Wars After Hours podcast. It's $3 a month, and you get perks like bonus episodes.
Bonus episodes.
Bonus episode did this. And then
get some bonus eppies.
All them eppies. Giveaways, other stuff, things. I'll list it in description. And yeah. Go to StarWarsAfterHours.com for all the other all the other stuff. And Stefan is falling and tripping over things. So, that concludes this episode of The Cool Shit Show. I'm Josh. Stefan went to urinate. And we will talk to you again next week about some cool shit.